the guy takes another guy. Say, let's hypothetically say you got Damian Maya, jiu-jitsu ace, and friggin' let's pick one of the best wrestler, Tyron Woodley, right? Two grapplers. The fight ends up going to the ground most of the time, and they all boo, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. Now they're standing up and they're fucking throwing haymakers at each other, and everyone's cheering, and they want blood, and that's exactly what they want, right? So to me, in my martial arts head, that shows me, okay, you want kickboxing. You
One
want to
stand.
you want to see a stand up fight. You want to see a brawl. You want to see guys. That's what Muay Thai and kickboxing is. So it's always baffled my mind, and I wanted to kind of hear it from like an expert in the industry of why kickboxing never caught on, but MMA caught on. Like MMA became this big thing because everyone wants to see blood and punching, kicking, but then when you give it to them, it they're like,
It,
no, sorry, that's okay, we'll pass. Like I don't understand why has that been a North American trend.
okay, so I think you're right. Number one, that North American people, we tend to side more to stand up
Yeah,
in general, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, even stand up MMA. That aspect of it, generally, I think it's easier for people to understand. I punch someone, they feel it,
yeah,
right? As opposed to we're on the ground now, and the technicality of you putting me in a leg lock or something, they might not see it,
yeah.
right?
Well, I mean,
So
I've had to argue with people plenty of times. Like when I was growing up, I used to watch UFCs at the bar, right?
right,
And the guy would get taken down, and he'd be like, "Get up, get up." I'm like, if it was that easy for him to fucking get up, don't you think he would just get up?
you're right.
He's not doing anything. No, he's putting in frames, and then I had to like stop yelling at people at the bar. I'm like, just shut up, Ashton. This is when I started ordering the pay-per-views myself because I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Yeah,
But like there's some small intricacies of wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu, judo, all those kind of grappling arts that are not TV friendly, put it that way. They're
yeah,
not viewer friendly. Like nobody's going to say, "Oh, he put in a frame." Unless you're in Japan, obviously, those people love it there. But so
right.
it always baffled my mind if that part of the sport is not liked, why don't people love watching kickboxing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I mean, so the other thing I think behind it all is the marketing.
Yeah.
The marketing. UFC is marketed the hell out of, and they do a great job at it. They do a great job at building characters and setting up fights, and and that's why also they were pumping them out. As long as they
Yeah.
could keep a good story plot running as well, that always helps as well. But I also think they've kind of lost an audience to because they've pumped out so much and people can't keep up with what's going on
Yeah.
necessarily out. And so I think part of it's marketing. And when you take things like kickboxing and you're saying, why isn't it booming or Muay Thai? Why isn't it booming here? Well, specifically in Ontario, first of all,
Yeah.
we don't have pro kickboxing Muay Thai, not
Yeah.
yet.
Just
Okay?
amateur, right?
Amateur,
Legally, correct, right?
legally,
Legally.
legally. So that's number one, the first hindrance. Which I think things will change in the future, and that will open up. And then I think at that point, you get someone in place to market it and promote. You know, it'll grow,
Yeah.
but that isn't there yet. It's funny because when I was down in Italy for the Worlds, they all of the refs and judges officials that were down there. The same weekend there was a glory fight that was happening in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
and they were like right towards the end of the tournament, they're all leaving, getting ready. They're all like a lot of them are like, "Oh no, I'm going to Amsterdam right now. I have to do this glory fight." The
Yeah.
same, and they're saying how there they had 25,000 people come out to watch the fights.
That's massive. That's a massive crowd.
Two crowds. So you know, then they looked at before bringing glory here to Canada. And aside from jumping over the hurdles of getting it, in
Regulated, yeah.
but they did some sort of poll and like they're like, oh, you guys would only get like 5,000 people, right?
It's not
So
worth it. It's not worth it.
right, I think it's something that's growing. you
Yeah.
know, because this wasn't even something we could talk about when I was a kid of going to see Muay Thai fights or you know what I mean? Like this
Yeah, I
was
know what
on
you mean.
whereas kids now they're growing up with it. You know what I mean?